is this bullshit?
Fox News 1's Nicole Fierro is on it this afternoon, working to track down the businesses and learn more about this. Nicole?
Yeah, I said that it has 3 businesses that it's notified its intent to charge millions of dollars in fines. These are local businesses, and this happened after a workplace audit.
Ooh.
A new social media post from ICE identifies 3 companies U.S. Immigrations and Custom Enforcement notified.
CCS Dender, after a 100% substantive violation rate and evidence of knowingly hiring and employing at least 87 unauthorized workers. Is there any reason not to charge these people with somehow human trafficking? Like, I think that you have to, or do something. Yeah, we have to put them, like, basically, I want to charge them with whatever you can to get them in jail. Because I think the way that you really stop this is the moment that you crucify just a couple of people, everybody else will stop doing it instantly. Because an $8 million fine is an accounting problem. It's a calculus problem. How much value are we going to get out of employing these illegal alien workers? Multiply that value by 87, compare that value to the $6 million fine, and the larger number is what we're going to do. Well, I don't think that's a very good way to make decisions. I don't like that at all. Sounds about right. Yeah, of course, because that's what I would do. A fine is
it
the cost
intends
of
to
doing
issue
business.
millions of dollars of fines due to illegal alien employment violations. We tried going to these businesses to learn their side, starting with CCS Facility Service.
Let me guess. No comment.
Which provides janitorial and facility maintenance services to Denver and surrounding areas, where we were told a board meeting was going on and someone would have to get back to us.
I'm sure they will. Surely they will.
ICE said it's levying more than $6 million in fines against CCS after
yeah.
finding 100% substantive violation rate and evidence of knowingly hiring and employing at least 87 unauthorized workers.
Ooh,
The next
that's a
2 are
lot.
listed under different companies, EDC and Denver. While we have addresses listed on the Secretary of State's website for the companies, both have signs for CCS listed.
Investigating businesses that employ...
Wait, so it's all just the same company using shell companies in order to displace accountability? What are we doing here? These people need to hire, they need to take Sam Bankman-Fried and let him go. And say, listen, we need you. Can you get them? Because you know all the scams. You know all the, like, get him, Jordan Belfort. Honestly, like, that's why I said with Donald Trump. Donald Trump, oh, he put a tax on the Penguin Island. Yeah, because he knows the fucking loophole. He already knows. Yeah, get Bernie Madoff out here. Yeah, bring in the Suicide Squad of scammers and have them go after these guys. Really? I think that'd be a great
Which
idea.
hero
It'd
do
be
you
fucking
think you want to
funny.
be today?
Who are you
Honestly,
calling a
it
raccoon,
does. It'd
huh?
be perfect.
Illegal immigration has been going on for decades.
And like every single person, every $1 million that they successfully return to the
Now,
government,
who am I gonna banish from this match?
maybe they get like a month off of their prison sentence. I think that'd be a really good system.
That happened to every presidential administration.
John Fabricatore, former field office director for ICE, breaks down the process for us.
They performed an I-9 audit in which they found, multiple social security number probably mismatches and
what a
no
surprise.
matches.
He says ICE Homeland Security Investigations announces there is going to be an I-9 audit, giving companies notice.
Also, they can use E-Verify, and work directly
Of course,
with
yeah, they can directly verify that with the government system, of course. I mean, all this is online.
to ensure
There's
that
no
those
reason not to do that.
that they're employing are authorized.
How do they find which businesses to audit?
Some of these businesses may have been audited in the past and had employed people that were unauthorized to work, so that is something that they could be looking at. But every
Yeah, if
single
it's some big building with a bunch of like random messages and it's got a bunch of people there.
Pick your hero. Or
like,
villain. I'm not judging.
there's like fucking 100 people that are working there and like you're trying to like run away and like not get noticed. Okay, let's look at that one.
business is subject to having their I-9s audited.
That was
Cameras on?
Nicole Fiero
Yeah.
reporting. ICE also tells us Homeland Security investigations use a three-pronged approach to worksite enforcement. These inspections and civil fines are step one. Step
So
two.
maybe what they would have to do, God, I wonder if they could charge them as like an accessory to like. Because you have to.
You can
like,
count on me.
You just
I got a
like,
plan.
you have
This
to
is a
do
nice spot.
Something that's more than a fine. And I hope that
30
they
seconds
understand
before you
that.
attack. Get ready.
Because once you really put people in jail and you really fuck people
So,
over for this,
You
it'll stop.
commune with ancient gods
Super
once in a
bad,
blue
fines aren't
moon,
enough. Yes,
right, Doc?
fines are
On
so
occasion,
boring.
but
I
to
don't
serve as
care
one's
about
avatar
fines.
must be
They're
exhausting.
cringe. I want to see, like, a fine is good.
Probably
like,
shouldn't
I
comment,
don't care about
cause
like, a
she
fine
was
is
always
good,
listening.
But that's
Perhaps
like,
a
the
divine
icing
The
on
battle
top
starts
of
in
the cake.
5,
I want the cake
4,
to be good too.
3,
And
2,
that's it. See, caught
1.
that? Yeah.
All you need to do is
Simplified
capture the
bounty,
mission area.
accessory to
Got
identity
it?
theft, harboring a fugitive, human trafficking,
Richards and
tax fraud.
Stark think they know everything.
Like, I'm very much a big
But
fan
when
of
man
personal,
plans,
direct,
the
brutal
gods
accountability.
laugh.
And if they did that, this stuff would go away
Conchu has his
overnight.
eye on you.
I guarantee
Armor
these
patch
companies
here.
would be instantly
Pay up.
auditing themselves. All the
Here
leaders,
is the
hiring
prize you
managers would
seek.
be sweating their fucking ass off. They'd be
Anyone
I'll
willing to
patch
help?
you up.
That's much better.
Good medicine.
Enemy located.
Don't mind me.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now. Capture the mission area!
You're ready for action.
Just in time. Thanks.
That's a WMD if I've ever seen one.
You're ready for action.
And so,
I attacked a foe.
divide that by 87. The cost of each employee is $68,000.
You're welcome.
So,
Enemy located. That's much better.
Social Security,
Team play. That's
I'll never fear some wages
for each person, are you making the difference of
I'm proud of what you did here.
$68,000 for a janitor?
You're ready for action.
Good medicine.
You guys think so? Like, you guys think so? Because, like, how many of you guys do hiring or anything like
Love
that?
battlefield medicine.
Most largest payroll company in the world.
You're welcome.
Yes,
This is real firepower. This is real firepower.
Amplifier feeling fantastic.
I'll patch you up.
No, they don't. But, like, what I'm saying is that
We are undefeatable!
it's their taxes,
You're ready for action.
I unleash
You captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going.
No, I don't know about that.
Don't step on lava.
And so, yeah, paid overtime, etc.
I'm back.
There's a lot of ways that you can, a lot of things that you forego by hiring illegals. The unhealthiest restaurant in America, why it's controversial?
This is a
Don't
nice
they
spot.
say, like, if you're over 400 pounds here, you can eat for free?
I'll
'Cause
patch
that'll
you
be,
up.
like, probably the normal weight of, like, the average
Control lost.
Right like a
person
star.
in about 15 years. So, like, everybody will be able to
I am
eat.
strength
I'm fucking
There's
helpful.
a lot of business. Yeah, bring your bacon on. Yeah, exactly. Here we go.
You're ready for action.
Your team's capture progress has passed the halfway point. A little help, please.
You're welcome. Stretch my back.
If, like, PCC does a special on how it's ruining kids' lives. Like, Minecraft does that, Fortnite does that.
Tastes like chicken.
Those are all really good games.
Opening the heart attack drill in 2005, Russell won 3 different
Rockets,
exercise
launch it
teams
again.
over a 12-year period, where he'd advise clients.
So he knows. So he went to the dark side. Basically, he went to the
Armor
dark side.
patch here.
on their
Pay up.
dietary and exercise needs,
Yeah.
as well as on techniques.
We are undefeatable!
You're welcome.
It's disgusting because of forcing people to think
good medicine.
This did that? Lost to destroy. Born again! Someone scratch my back. Things are gonna be different this time.
Inside, they'd proudly display the catchphrase "Taste worth dying for." However, the most insane piece of signage was without a doubt this, reading, "Anyone over 350."
Oh, they had to. See, look. Somebody said it was over 300. Yeah, they had to
Just
change
say
that
it.
sign
There's nothing I
because,
can't
You know,
fix.
this is America, and so they had to increase it because they probably were starting to lose some money.
Pounds eats for free all day, every day, unlimited, with the only rules being no taking food to go, no
30
sharing
seconds
with others,
before you
and does
attack.
not include
Get ready.
beverages.
Oh, that's fucked up. They don't even let you get a drink, man. But yeah, like I
Ilyana,
saw a
dear,
video of this,
remember,
of
you're
this,
more
like,
than
fat
welcome in the
dude,
sanctorum.
and they have like a.
Aren't you worried about my dark side anymore,
It's not
Stephen?
even like a
I
normal
am,
scale.
but books
It's like
and
a
tea will teach
livestock
you how to
scale
cope with
that
it.
you stand on.
They work for
I
me.
love it.
Although this wasn't the only unlimited service offered by the restaurant.
Instead of a salad
The
bar,
battle starts in 5, 4, 3,
To serve for free,
2,
Vaso took the
1.
Hooters. Like,
All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it? I hope this
hiring
is
a bunch of
important.
sexy nurses,
Reed and I had a
they
date
were
night
honestly
planned.
also extending into the job application process with questions such as whether the applicant has an innie or outie belly button, who would they have a hot one-night stand with,
Got one in my sights.
conspiracy theories.
Yeah, that's actually because you have to remember, like, this is in Las Vegas, so if
You're welcome.
This
is a nice spot.
These conspiracy theories are fake, your application gets automatically
The mission area is yours to capture now. Feeling fantastic.
I'll patch you up.
I unleash the Vishanti's
Post charge. Fire. Team play. That's me.
We are undefeatable!
You're ready for action. You're ready for action. This is real firepower. See, I'm a blocking helper. Where's the other rockets? Unleash!
A little help, please.
You're welcome.
Feeling fantastic.
Some good time. Now you know what's going.
Someone scratch my back.
Mission area is yours.
Restaurant might kill you.
We don't do Diet Coke. We don't.
Armor patch here.
Powerful
Pay
spells
up.
require extraordinary.
Got
one in my sights.
Yep. True.
We don't even provide.
Getting close to full force. Not every day you bag a Wolverine.
Man.
medics around?
All right.
You're welcome.
That's better.
I like how he just brought one random hot girl to sit next to him in a nurse outfit. And you know why he did this, right? Just because it would make people mad. And I bet it would.
Our enemies are near.
I'll patch you up.
That's much better.
We've been so lucky.
I am strengthened.
A little help, please.
See, I'm blocking help.
82 calorie quadruple bypass burger.
You captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going. We are undefeatable!
I'll patch you up.
The Vishanti's power.
I wonder what I bet he does, guys. I guarantee you I bet he fucking does.
The area's almost yours!
You ain't got rid of me yet.
week at the age of 29. His family says the cause of death was pneumonia.
Even in death, the heart attack
This
will
is a
maintain
nice spot.
Yeah, that's what happens. Guys,
I'll patch you up.
not healthy to be
fantastic.
570
Team play.
pounds.
That's me.
That's right.
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
You're ready? This is real firepower.
You got them all.
My good deed for the day.
You got them all.
For you guys.
Which obviously kills. Absolutely.
With Bast.
Holy shit! Bro, you know what's so funny? Is that
We guard the
in a
galaxy,
world
sure.
of lies,
But sometimes we
platitudes,
take stuff
and,
other people are
you know,
guarding.
just like different, you know, oh, it sounds a little bit better to say this, and, you know, feelings being taken into account. Like,
30
the
seconds
world
before you
is so
attack.
crazy
Get ready.
that whenever a person who tells the truth says it, everybody
Reed is
gets
glad to have
angry
another
at them.
genius around to help him solve this, Tony.
Yeah, euphemisms,
Same.
yeah,
He
all
takes my
this, yeah.
brilliant ideas and makes them ever so slightly
So
better.
taking this
I'll
even
be sure to
further
tell him
into
exactly what you said.
Please don't. There's no way I can do this without him.
That's great for business. I'll say.
He's right.
The battle starts in 5.
The
4,
worst thing
3,
and the best thing
2,
about this
1.
is that he's right.
All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
Death is great for business at the heart of it.
Although the earliest goal of discrediting the founder is the opposite. It's actually refreshing.
Oh my god.
Armor
this
packs
is so
here.
amazing.
Pay up.
As advertised.
Much to bring crashing down
They
around
should do
here.
like a sponsorship with Nakado Avocado. They could, dude, imagine
This
if
feels
they
empty.
paid that guy.
It's
You're
somehow
ready for
dangerous.
that.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now.
See, I told you this guy's better.
Armor packs here. Pulse charge. Pay up. Fire.
Not sure how we'll solve this.
Judge, jury, executioner. I'm fucking helpful.
I think that's the best part about it.
Clearly, you needed some help.
You got them
Also
all.
showed his more passionate side.
The mission area
People
is
might think
yours.
this River's death is funny, but people who knew him are crying their eyes
A
out. There is a
successful
lot of mourning
operation.
going on around here. You couldn't have found a better person.
Well, then they shouldn't have eaten as much food.
Even if he was skiing,
My armor's got a lock on a
job,
bogey.
he would have just put the tracksuit on. He just had personality here.
You're ready for action.
As did the rest
Crisis averted.
person owned parts, it wouldn't last long either, although for a slight
Don't mind me. I'm just dying.
coming up behind. Public electronic camera scale.
Yeah.
The new location also led to a brand new slogan. Remember, the calories
You've captured more than half of the mission area. Keep going.
instant increase in business.
We've both doubled in terms of money, in terms of square footage.
You didn't stand to this, you lost.
However, the craziest change is without a doubt.
You're ready for
By the
action.
way, I think that half of the guy's charm
Assemble!
is so direct and he's bold.
Enemy in front of
I
us.
think that the entire
It's much better.
Pulse charge. Fire. This is real firepower.
I unleash the Ashanti's power.
This is real firepower.
Anyone willing to help?
You're welcome.
Updated their websites to include free video and images for the press, where the motivation for
successful
the
operation.
octuple bypass burger became pretty obvious.
Oh my fucking god.
Armor packs
I'm
here.
sure some people
Pay
that
up.
eat a lot of food as like a
I'll
job,
patch you up.
Probably
Feeling
do it.
fantastic.
Yeah. But like a normal person's not gonna eat that.
I need a bit more power.
They were trying to generate
Glory is almost yours!
Okay, hold your horses. I'll deploy another beat. I'm spinning. I'm spinning. You're welcome. See, I'm flocking help.
Oh my god.
I have
If
tagged a
anybody's
fool.
seen this, does he feed the two fat chicks?
Here is an enemy to
Does he
pursue.
feed them in the video?
Keep fighting until we have a winner.
Yes, I
Should have seen that coming. Watch your back.
Pulse charge. Fire. You pick a fight with protons.
Over on YouTube, as different content creators visited the restaurant to see if they could eat it. Those who could, such as Matt Stoney, were given a ride out of the restaurant in a novelty wheelchair, though there were others.
Another epic victory!
Rushed to the hospital after eating a sandwich called the Triple Black Burger.
In February 2012, man has heart attack while eating at the Heart Attack Grill, which is followed by another article only 2 months later reading, Heart Attack Grill lives up to its name again this week when a woman collapsed in their Las Vegas restaurant. This marks the second person to fall victim to their horrifically caloric food in less than a year.
I love the word victim. How could they, bro? This guy's out there with a net. It's like an extra large net, and he's like trying to catch these fat people like butterflies. And he's like, all right, come on in here. Let's go, Porky. Yep, load him up. Oh my God, man. I love how like people like this, they really go to show how absolutely fucking ridiculous people are. That these people are actually a victim. Get the fuck out of here.
The Heart Attack Grill responding in the most brand appropriate way by bragging about it on their website.
3 people died here. Oh my God.
2 ambulance departures in less than 60 days left an indelible mark on the Heart Attack Grill's public image.
Yeah.
Dr. John delivered a clear message to the media that such tragedies shall inevitably continue due to having clientele which he refers to as being the avant-garde of nutritional risk takers.
That's one way to say it.
Had my wallet with money? Absolutely. Did I enjoy that?
Wait.
Wallet with money.
Of nutritional risk takers.
Did that heart attack have my wallet with money? Absolutely. Did I?
Christ.
As I said, man, it just wouldn't be the same if he wasn't bald. Him being bald, just, it's so perfect.
I enjoy that. Absolutely.
Although this is still nothing compared to what would happen 1 year later. The Heart Attack Grill had a new unofficial spokesperson named John.
Good morning, everybody. We're capping off the 700-day week with our morning briefing. How does everybody feel? You like the morning
Which
briefing?
hero do you think you want to be today?
We do too. That's why we're doing them.
Who are you calling a raccoon, huh?
I brought a
Be
friend out here
worried.
today who's
No
happy to take your questions,
timeline
but first,
exists
some
where
remarks.
Magneto
At 11 o'clock,
yields.
President Trump will
Who are you
participate
calling
in
a
National
raccoon,
Day of
huh?
Prayer event.
Now,
He will invite Americans
who am I
of
gonna
all
banish
faiths
from this
across
match?
the country to join him in asking for God's continued blessings over our great country. During the event, the president will sign an executive order establishing a Religious Liberty Commission. Later today, President Trump will travel to the University of Alabama to deliver a commencement address to the graduating class of 2025. Last night, we saw yet again why President Trump is our deal maker in chief. We secured a historic agreement to establish the United States-Ukraine Reconstruction Investment Fund. This is a first-of-its-kind economic partnership for the reconstruction and long-term economic success of Ukraine that the United States will greatly benefit from. This partnership represents the United States taking an economic stake in securing a free, peaceful, and sovereign future for Ukraine. This partnership establishes a fund that will receive 50% of royalties, license fees, and other similar payments from natural resource projects in Ukraine.
You'll need a top-notch team to win this
clear
one.
From the beginning, he wants the killing in this brutal war.
I will bring
to end.
peace to this
agreement
universe,
shows how
no matter the
invested the
cost.
president is in securing a truly lasting peace. To mark President Trump's triumphant first 100 days in office, we've detailed all week how President Trump has been hard at work delivering on the promises he made to the American people. And yesterday, the president once again showcased why he is the most transparent and accessible president in American history with the House already open cabinet meetings. Every cabinet secretary went into great detail explaining how their respective agencies are making life better for American families
Open
and
your
businesses.
eyes.
And then the
I
president
will knit
allowed
the dimensions
us to
back
ask
together.
questions.
If it
30 seconds before you attack.
One of the
Get
main
ready.
reasons President Trump won nearly 80 million votes, swept all 7
I
battleground
feel like
states,
we have
and
something
received a
in
resounding mandate
A
from the
love of
American
things that
public
explode.
is because of the
I'm
contrast
an
he presented
excellent
during
bushy
his
tail.
continues to today. Everything President Trump's agenda in President Trump's agenda is grounded in one thing: common sense. While the Democrat Party went off the deep end,
The battle
and doubled
starts
down
in
on pure
5,
craziness,
4,
President Trump pledged to
3,
restore common sense
2,
back to the
1.
United States of America.
All you
In a
need to
little
do
over
is capture
3
the
months,
mission
that's
area.
exactly what
Got
he's
it?
done. He recognized that
Nichts
America is a
außer
sovereign nation that cannot survive, does not respect
I am
its territorial
strengthened for
borders.
battle.
So he secured the border and recognized and dispatched a pending millions of illegal aliens into our own. President Trump responsibility during the safety of the American people, which is why he's arrested violent illegal alien invaders and to threaten our public. It is unacceptable for President Trump to allow rampant voter fraud and abuse of American tax dollars. I heard the darkness. Those efforts that saved nearly 200 million dollars. President Trump wants America to take
Dark magic.
in the form of profit. So he ended Joe Biden's record war on American energy. It is restoring American energy dominance, lower costs, and strengthening our national security. President Trump will please Americans to be free to drive whatever car they want. So he ended Joe Biden's disastrous EV mandate and promoted true consumer choice. President Trump stood up for
Help get that vehicle to its destination.
Good medicine.
Only things that will determine if you get ahead. President Trump is a proud free champion, which is why he identifies rights to federal law and censorship of American speech on online platforms. President Trump help people have a right to speak their mind and go to school places again. So he can hold back
Leave me in darkness.
I like the cold.
Nova!
I am strengthened for battle.
I like the cold.
By the eye of Agamotto.
When President Trump completed the promise of complete restoration of America and the revolution of common sense he mentioned, and over the next 100 days, get ready for historic
Mortal
trade
pain
deals,
is no
budget
match
Get that
for the
vehicle moving
Sorcerer
again.
Supreme.
For more on President Trump's common
Forward and
sense
encore.
revolution, I will turn it over to our White House Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy, Stephen Miller. Stephen, thanks for coming.
Need some help.
Good medicine.
I am ready to put on a show. I like the cold. I'm under here.
Leave me in darkness.
I usually like the underground scene.
The winds of Watum blow fair.
Halfway there. Keep going. Double KO.
I purge the darkness.
Be strong together.
An enemy strange is near. By the eye of Agamotto.
Almost there. Ultraman now.
Bagamoto! Hands are shaking again. Focus.
Not on their ability to carry a weapon, not on their ability to keep Americans safe, not on their ability to keep justice.
I am straight for battle. By the eye of Agamotto!
Small or large, that violate
Disappear!
will face
Usually I create my own shield. It's clobbering time! Leave me, darkness!
We'll be headed to the planet's surface. Us against the world! Supernova!
By the eye of Agamotto!
In particular,
by the shades of the Seraph, I'm opening a
Only
portal.
60 seconds
open
left.
investigation into universities across the country for violating.
Get that beetle moving again!
Universities at the crossroads.
Ready to get your yarn out? Pentagram of Quran.
Those guys are about to shoot at us. Hey,
Disappear!
Stop, no.
By the eye of Agamotto! By the hoary hosts of holy.
And again,
We'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner. So close! Supernova!
rise, my friends!
Leave them to Khonshu!
Planet's surface. Us against the world!
I am strengthened. I'm opening a portal.
The current score is 2-0.
And this administration is treating them as child abuse.
Time to switch things up, including which side you're on.
This also includes the administration's message.
Open your eyes.
They
reality is
cannot
but
and
an
will not be allowed
illusion.
to use
The right
taxpayer
heroes
dollars
could make all the
to
difference.
perform chemical castrations and sexual mutilizations of children.
Be wary. No
Castration
timeline
surgeries,
exists where
castration
Magneto
drugs,
yields.
Sterilization treatments of children are barbaric. They violate all sound medical ethics. They are completely unwarranted. They harm children for life, irreversibly. It is child torture. It is child abuse. It is medical malpractice.
We should
And
give
so the
these
Department of
humans
Homeland
good reason
Services,
to
under
hate
the
and
leadership
fear
of
us
Bob
after
Kennedy,
all.
as well as the Department of Justice and other departments of government, are making clear to our medical providers and our hospital systems.
They'll be coming in 30
cannot use
seconds.
taxpayer
Stay
dollars
strong.
to perform these barbaric procedures on America's children. And HHS has systematically updated and eliminated all of the junk, fake science that was produced under the Biden administration, promoting sex changes on children, promoting the idea of sterilizing children. That's been cleaned out. That's been
The battle starts in 5,
new guidance is being
4,
issued to doctors
3,
and hospitals
2,
advising them
1.
They cannot perform.
You have to stop them from securing the mission area.
These irreversible procedures on our nation's
Stand
children.
back.
We're also making clear in our prison system, male prisoners will not be allowed into women's prisons. The Biden administration
I feel like myself again. Here they are.
Even though the Democrat Party,
Our enemy has been spotted. You need not fear.
Turn down.
well, women's private space has been rescued. Young girls, because school districts have allowed girls private space. This administration, President Trump, has supported
I feel like myself again.
no one is we're talking about radical ideology.
You shall not be harmed.
Children will be taught love.
Us against the world.
Will be taught value. Schools that want
Hey, team! Enjoy the air!
You shall not be harmed, darkness.
Don't mind me. I'm just dying.
Funds are not being used.
Disappear!
I'm fucking helpful.
Your attacks are futile.
Women, men, good, merit, bad, safety, and physical security matter less than the feeling of liberal ideology. The President has also sought to return the Department of Justice to the core mission of protecting public safety and locking up violent criminals instead of using the Department of Justice to target conservatives, to target Christians, and to target people of faith. The last administration cruelly and shamefully used the power of the Justice Department to go after
I feel like myself again.
Supernova!
Rugged police!
You cannot hurt me. You are under my protection.
You're welcome.
Christless, afflicted America. For years, sometimes decades, this president has fought head on. He has taken on every kind of power.
Only 60 seconds left.
Government,
Your attacks are futile.
I am ready to put on a show.
Told I have world.
By the eye of Agamotto.
State and achieve the lowest level of immigration in recorded history now
We need to
it's
stop
close
that vehicle in its tracks.
took on the
shall not be
crisis
removed so
afflicting this country
easily.
by reopening American energy, by defeating inflation, by lowering gas prices, by ending the onslaught and reversing the onslaught of federal regulation, by reopening
stop
coal,
that vehicle.
oil, natural gas, and fighting now for a large tax cut that
You are under my protection. You need not fear.
Good to be disappear!
Do your worst.
Supernova!
You cannot hurt me. You shall not be harmed easily.
Now we really have to...
Behold the god of thunder! You are under my protection. By the eye of Agamotto!
Only 60 seconds left. I am ready to put on a show. Better stop that vehicle.
You are under my protection. Fear Magneto! You shall not be harmed.
You're welcome.
Much better. My lack do not expect me to do that again.
Down to 30 seconds.
Child. To manipulate their currency, to rack up a sustainable trade deficit.
They shall not escape our wrath now.
That has to be the guy
He's stopped them in their tracks.
time.
The final 10 seconds.
Significant revenue into this country.
You belong to me. Disappear.
Our enemy has been spotted.
Let's keep fighting until we have a winner.
I feel like myself again. What a glorious race.
Where there's a portal, pretty soon there are bags.
Right now, all over the world,
You cannot hurt me.
I am ready to put on a show.
You shall not be harmed.
Yes, other countries, obviously, will have their own demands, their own interests. Nothing will go into effect that will serve the interest of America and the American people.
They hit a checkpoint. Now might be a good time to stop them. Better stop that vehicle.
Between $4 and $5 billion this year. The CEO of Ford says he can't commit to not raising prices because of tariffs. Is the administration open to doing more to give automakers relief?
Get out of here! We don't wait!
You shall not be harmed.
A shield?
I feel like myself again.
Someone stretch my back!
Only 60 seconds left.
By the eye of Agamotto!
Enjoy the air,
Stop them.
You are welcome.
All cars in the world were made in and now
You shall not be harmed.
Down to 30 seconds.
every single foreign leader and every single
What a curious race.
Disappear. Supernova.
You are under my protection.
Final 10 seconds. Let's keep fighting until we have a winner.
Bro.
You belong to me.
Sanctions
plant
have
has
been
to operate in the
repaid.
United States. The only alternative to that is to have
Magneto!
Final score, 3, 2,
If we stay
2.
on the current path, within a few years, there would have been no U.S. automobile industry. And what little was left of it would have been
Another epic victory!
supply chain in Mexico, where they believe it's cheaper to make their products. The reality is make them here because there'll be no tariff for anything made in the United States, and we'll have the cheapest energy and the best regulatory environment on the face of the earth.
But in the meantime, while manufacturing ramps up, American consumers may pay more. Do you agree?
Not on cars they won't, because again, there's now a massive economic incentive for automobile producers to expand production in the United States, and whatever they make here, there will be no tariff.
Today, the U.S. Chamber of Commerce released a letter to the Trump administration asking for small business tariff relief. They say that's necessary because in order to save small businesses and to stave off a recession. Stephen, is the administration considering small business tax tariff relief?
The relief for small businesses is going to come in the form of the largest tax cut in American history. A tax cut, by the way, that every single Democrat is planning to vote against. They're voting for a tax hike on every middle-class family of about $4,000. The president has made clear that it will be 100% expensing for investment in the United States. Companies that invest in the United States will be able to deduct 100% of that cost from their tax liability. This will be the most pro-small business tax bill in American history. And at the same time, this is what you have to understand about the plan, is as they're able to do that, as they're able to reshore those supply chains, that also means they'll pay no tariff. So you'll have the lowest tax environment and there'll be no tariff because their production and supply chains will be in the United States.
No on tariff relief for small businesses in the short term?
It's a yes on tax relief for small businesses. And again, you only pay the tariff for products.
Which hero do you think you want to be today?
Yeah, thanks. So on the rare earth mineral deals, besides
Who are you calling a raccoon, huh?
Deals be operationalized? What's the time frame? And what kind of leverage does that give Ukraine over Russia?
Now,
I think the more
who
important
am I going to banish from this match?
I would hope we have an update for you soon on how quickly it can be operationalized. We'll be moving at full speed, not only on that mineral deal, by the way, but on every mineral deal that this president has been unleashing. So we're opening up mines all across this country. We're also pursuing energy and mineral deals all over the world. Since the president issued his executive order also on deregulating coal, we've seen dramatic coal production increases already in the United States. So we're taking advantage of the trillions of dollars of coal wealth and mineral wealth that exists in the United States. We're a very mineral-rich country. But with respect to that deal, we'll move it and operationalize it as fast as we possibly can. But it's meant to pay back the United States. This is the key point. For the hundreds of billions of dollars that our taxpayers have spent subsidizing the war in Ukraine. So it is repayment to the United States. And that's one of the most important points to understand about it.
Leverage. Does it give? What kind of leverage does it give?
The president's goal, again, is to end the killing.
The right heroes could make all the difference.
The overriding objective. Thank you.
This administration has stressed the need for price transparency.
Be wary.
Like
No
healthcare
timeline
bills.
exists where Magneto
So why is
yields.
it a political and hostile act for Amazon to display price transparency on consumer goods?
Well, I think it's the wrong way of looking at it, which is why would, first of all, that proposal is gone now. But why would Amazon, all the different things that go into it, it's theoretical price, right? For example, does Amazon list the cost of California regulations and everything made in California?
We should give these
Anything you make in
humans good
California
reason to
will have a
hate and
massive
fear
price
us after all.
because of the healthcare regulations that are
He'll be
unworkable
coming in
that
30
state,
seconds.
because of the
Stay
labor
strong.
regulations that are unworkable in that state, because of the subsidies that go to illegal aliens in that state, because of all the bureaucity. So
What,
anything they
humans?
produce in California
They don't
has a massive
understand
built-in
anything
price
because they
tag.
never listen.
So why wouldn't Amazon have a list saying if you purchase it in California instead of in Alabama,
view from
this
up
is the
here.
premium that you pay. That you pay. This was a clear attempt by whoever proposed it originally. I don't know, because Amazon said they were never going to do
The
it.
battle starts in
Trying
5,
to
4,
undermine
3,
our
2,
trade
1.
negotiations with
You have to
China.
stop them from
I think
securing the
another
mission
thing
area.
is the immense complaint about the fact that we're a lot comfortable that
I feel like myself again.
someone like China that they just already
A mystic book.
Flank, flank, flank. Dead. Break ammo wall, break ammo wall.
Secretary Rubio is the one who, under his leadership and direction at the State Department, is managing the day-to-day relationship with himself. Let's take a moment for one to show gratitude for agreeing
Heads up.
to take
Us against the world. Guys down. Gives on the boomerang arrow.
The moon haunts you.
The Maduro regime is using
Bro, they are flanking us. They are flanking us.
Now, very few in this room.
I'm opening a portal.
I'll let you all ask yourselves why you didn't cover it, why your editors didn't assign that story to you. Something that you should think about on your own.
A shortcut through space.
Earth-shattering is new.
Good medicine.
Push in, push in.
I'm trying to help.
On American soil, against critics of the Maduro regime. Those are the terrorists that President Trump is finding and apprehending that are Democrat judges and Democrat officers are trying to keep on U.S. soil. Train Data Lava has the same legal status
Enemy in front of us.
and MS-13 has the same legal status as the fourth operating on our soil.
I blew up a keyhole.
Behold! Victory!
The moon haunts you. Destroy them. I am strengthened for that.
I am ready to put on a show.
By the eye of Agamotto.
Why can't only 60 seconds left.
Let Moon Knight protect his arms if he dares.
About any of the Americans that were raped and tortured and murdered by the illegals that Biden was supporting for country. Talk about due process. The Biden administration made the decision to give
Us against the world.
to train their law
I am strengthened for that.
Legal aliens who had just set foot on U.S. soil.
I have unfinished business.
You need to stop that vehicle
What
in
was
its
the result
tracks.
of that decision? What was the result of that choice that was made?
Bro, Hawkeye, you need to
Kidnapped a
change.
young girl named Jocelyn Ungary from her family. They beat her, they sexually assaulted her, they tortured her, they killed her, murdered her, and left the body.
Hey, teens! Enjoy the amplifier!
Good medicine.
Never covered the story of her.
They got behind you.
Bro, I'm not gonna play.
I don't forget.
As far away from transportation vendors as you possibly can. Have I offered every one of you a rent-free home with no taxes to pay? in
Hawkeye
any of these
switch,
gang
Hawkeye
neighborhoods?
switch.
And I said, your neighbors are MS-13 terrorists, or Mexican mafia, or Sinaloa cartel, Train Nicaragua. I couldn't pay you to live there. But yet,
Good medicine.
you're trying to force innocent Americans out of your neighborhood.
The moon.
Stop it, stop it!
What do you tell Americans right now, Stephen, who say they can't afford to, in the president's words, be patient? Americans who voted for President Trump on his promise that he would lower prices across the board on day one.
But he did lower prices across the board.
Okay.
Prices last month went up 0.4%, of course. So I mean, just across the board, not
A shortcut to space. An enemy strange is near. By the eye of Agamotto! I come out the darkness!
Final 10 seconds! You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner. That is not that vehicle!
The doctor is here.
I am ready to put on a show!
My life force is by the eye of Agamotto! Lead them to Khonshu! Pentagram of power! The moon haunts you!
Us against the world! They hit a checkpoint. Now might be a good time to stop them.
Is going down. The employment of American citizens is exploding. Remember, all the job gains during the Biden administration.
You can count on me. I got a plan.
On that were for foreign workers. So if you look at the stock of American workers over his whole administration, they lost jobs on net.
That is not that vehicle.
You lived through a 4 years of Biden administration.
Someone scratch my back.
But now we are the president.
Only 60 seconds left.
To make your product in America, there's no tariff. And as we develop advanced AI,
I'll patch you up. Oh, these keyhole things are dead. Relay deployed. It ain't cheap.
It's now or never. Stop
You
them.
may end up paying on dollars, which is pretty cheap. You may end up paying a little bit more right now. So in terms of
You're ready for that.
Lead them to Khonshu!
30 seconds.
How you shoot.
that might have
Team player, that's me. Watch this spot.
Don't worry. The final 10 seconds.
Oh, I'm gonna get some revenge.
Bro, root is easy farm for MK.
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
I'll patch you up. Just with the doctor.
Us against the world!
Team play, that's me.
The moon haunts you!
Nice one, Groot.
The current score is 0-2. Time to switch things up, including which side you're
It was
on.
a great reminder to the American people.
Who are you calling a raccoon, huh?
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
The leader sitting in the Oval Office today is President Donald Trump and not President Kamala Harris. It was a helpful reminder of just what a travesty and a tragedy that would have been. It would have been the end of America. And it sort of is, it just begins to bring this whole thing up. If we continued on this road of radical regulation, choking off American energy, sending our supply chains to foreign countries, taxing our economy to death, pushing cancerous woke ideology on children,
there's nothing I
ending
can't
marriage,
fix.
ending scientific innovation.
Check out the BRB.
Ending public safety, allowing, everyone goes to the stores these days, everything's locked up, criminals roam free, law
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Were punished while gangbangers were given red carpet treatment.
Groot!
Democrats, of course, are still giving gangbangers red carpet treatment. And
I
then
know.
the border
How do we
amendments,
keep
those
ending up
also
in these
continue.
situations?
It would have been the end of the American
Who are you
The only
calling
thing
a
Americans want
raccoon,
to hear
huh?
from Kamala Harris is an apology for joining Joe Biden, remember the borders are, joining Joe Biden.
The battle starts in
aiding
5,
and abetting
4, 3,
and we're never
2,
gonna stop talking about
1.
it. Because what they did,
All you need to do is capture the mission
is
area.
unforgivable.
Got it?
It is an eternal stain on the Democrat Party.
To the afterlife.
Every day we read another story. Every day we arrest another alien. Beat with an murder a mom, murder a dad, track drugs, enemies on your tail, track fentanyl, dead father. I don't know what's broken.
Destroy these ounce as soon as you see them.
None of that.
Embrace the light.
Do we need to have more trials? How do you more trials for gang members? We need to have more trials for
Was that truly your bed?
clearly say that you can expel aliens quickly, efficiently.
Moon Knight's Ankh, I presume?
This president.
The moon haunts you!
Proud. North Carolina feels the same way. We come every single
Go get that vehicle to its destination.
security, sovereignty of the citizen. That's an important word.
Ready to unleash the life force.
Citizen of this republic.
Thank you for your time. Thank you, everyone. And just to add on the comment where I think I see everyone on the
What am I?
Our enemy has been spotted.
You'll hear from the president at 11 o'clock. Okay, later.
Fear Magneto! Your attacks are futile. Much better. You need not fear.
An extra force field? Great.
Behold! Darkchild! The eyes of the hawk that Thor speaks of. I am the eagle. World tree.
Hate to break it to you, but Hawkeye is just a code name. What? My pal Sam would love to meet your bird.
Almost there. Ultra Magneto.
Ah, much better.
The vehicle reached a checkpoint. Keep up the momentum.
Which is actually how
Us against the world. End these trials. Things will come.
Watch your back. Hold still. I'm trying to help.
where there's only one black guy, which is that no matter what he's talking about, a person tries to steer the conversation.
I feel like myself again. We got insignificant mass. Fear Magneto!
This is real firepower!
Hold still. I'm trying to help. That's it. Don't let anything stand in your way.
Disappear!
Fear Magneto! I have become vulnerable. Of disappointment. Armed and dangerous! None you need not fear.
An extra force.
Final score. 3-2-2.
You know, I got a very high black vote. You know that. Very, very high black vote.
Another epic victory. Big win.
Should be choosing the curriculum for the science college. The answer was so dumbfounding that Stephen A., who is a professional interrupter, was left
this for the first time in his life. By the way, this is not even the weirdest Stephen A. Smith moment from this week, because apparently the guy had a cameo on General Hospital a few days ago, and here's really the only moment you need to see.
Sorry to interrupt. Who needs to see some ID?
Of course.
God damn! Is that what happens when you don't have your ID? Man, things sure have changed. Now, we used to clap for nurses every day, and now we quick draw them with a silencer. I had no idea that Stephen A. Smith even acted in soap operas, but now I can't wait to tune in next week to find out if he has an evil twin, Stephen B. Smith. I guess I gotta start watching General Hospital, or as Trump calls it, General Harlem. But let's move on, because not everyone is having fun during this celebration week.
We begin with breaking news. Sources are confirming to Fox News that National Security Advisor Mike Waltz is out.
Waltz has been in a precarious position with the president after he accidentally added a reporter to a group chat about upcoming military strike.
Damn. What a shame for Mike Waltz. I wonder how they delivered the news. That's ice cold. You know what? You can't jeopardize military missions by adding journalists to your group chats. And to Donald Trump's credit, he realizes he can't have a guy this incompetent working for his administration. He's got to go.
This is CNN Breaking News.
President Trump just announcing moments ago that he will be nominating his current National Security Advisor, Michael Waltz, to be the next U.S. ambassador to the United Nations.
Yeah. Like I was saying, he's got to go to the United Nations to represent the entire country on a global stage. Congrats, Mike. You've earned it, I guess. Well, look, I don't know. This seems like pure chaos to me, but I'm sure this administration has been carefully planning the whole reorganization for days, as the State Department spokesperson will make clear.
The president has just written on Truth Social that Mike Waltz is going to become the new U.S. ambassador to the United Nations.
Well, there you go. Fabulous.
And in addition to that, he says that in the interim, Secretary of State Marco Rubio will serve as National Security Advisor while continuing his strong leadership at the State Department. Do you know how long he's going to be serving in both roles?
It is clear that I just heard this from you.
You know what? Why don't you come up here and I'll ask you some questions, okay? By the way, if it sounds crazy that Marco Rubio has 2 separate jobs, that's actually only half of his jobs.
Marco Rubio is very busy right now. Our own David Gura reminding us that he's right now Secretary of State, Interim National Security Advisor, Acting Administrator of USAID, and also Acting Archivist for the United States. That's a lot of work. Those are a lot of jobs.
Yeah, and I don't know how you balance working 4 jobs all at the same time, but I'm going to get probably involved doing a shitty job. And he's actually working 5 jobs when you consider the hardest job of them all, which is being a father. Which reminds me. Honey, you're going to have to put the kids to bed tonight because I'm going to go get drunk at Dave & Buster's. But amazingly, Trump hasn't been firing administration officials all that much because partly, most of them have really learned a lesson about staying on his good side. Let me show you how bad it can get. 3 days ago, Pam Bondi was on Fox News making an outrageous claim about Trump's success stopping fentanyl deaths.
Since Donald Trump has been in office, DEA has seized over 21 million fentanyl pills. That's 21 million lives saved, in my opinion.
21 million people. 21 million people. Just for context, 70,000 people died from fentanyl in an entire year. But we're supposed to believe that in 3 months, Trump prevented 21 million fentanyl deaths. I guess a lot more people were planning to try fentanyl this year, huh? Were you guys? Because if everyone's doing it, I'll do it. I'm not a pussy. All right. This audience is pro-fentanyl. Now, to be fair to Bondi, she must have realized these numbers.
This RL streamer might go down as the dumbest influencer ever create content for the internet because he truly thinks nothing will ever happen to him, even though he's already pleaded guilty to multiple charges in his ongoing Korean criminal case. And still, he's out on the street racking up more and more felonies daily. While all of this is going on, I've been covering influencers doing stupid stuff for over a decade now, and I've never seen someone continue to commit felonies in a foreign country while having an ongoing criminal trial. It's like he wants to be stuck there forever, and clearly this has taken a massive toll on him and his only friend who's financially supporting him, as his family seems to have started to cut him off from family funds. So I guess instead of reeling things in and trying to behave, he wants to find out exactly how much time South Korea can possibly give him. I think his confidence is still high because, you know, when he went to Japan, they let him go with only 3 months of jail time. But the big difference here, though, is in Japan, he was thrown in jail and therefore he stopped committing felonies while he was in jail. Now in South Korea, they have a different approach where they travel ban him and let him provide for himself rather than the South Korean taxpayer. This seems to have kind of driven the guy crazy because now he's basically broke, banned on every streaming platform. So because of that, he has no real way of making any decent money. We found out that he wasn't being paid on Party, meaning he did this whole shirtless dancing stunt and then got arrested for zero upside. Not only is he the dumbest influencer, but also the most pathetic. But what he seemingly doesn't realize is the more felonies he documents himself doing, the more charges he'll inevitably get, and the longer his criminal trial will take, or trials, because there could easily be multiple trials here, meaning he will continue to be stuck in Korea. So instead of switching things up and actually behaving to get a lighter sentence, he starts threatening the Korean government and another YouTuber. Then he gets detained again by the police for doing some stunt in the park, and then to top everything off, for a small donation, he goes back out and taunt people the same day he was already detained, and 20 minutes later, the police were back on him. So we have quite a few things to talk about today, so let's start off with the strategical pivot at the Johnny Somali HQ.
If Korea does not let me out of Korea, I'm telling you right now, it is a danger to the Korean women. I have had so much with Korean women while I've been locked here. I don't wear any when I these Korean women. I don't get any STD tests when I these Korean women. I don't.
World weary to engage hypotheticals.
I don't get any STD,
the battle before
tests
us is
when I
enough.
Korean women. And I make sure to spread whatever
The battle starts
I
in
have
5, 4,
all of these
3,
Korean
2, 1.
And the police can't stop me.
You have to stop them from securing the mission
The
area.
government can't stop me.
Does he think that will help him? That is a crazy thing to say when you're in a criminal trial. Now, I would be worried for the Korean citizens if he could pull anything else but his real name. I don't know why, but it's always the dudes who get zero play that drive it out so much play. And again, he uses his sorry for that because he admitted he doesn't get anything there. I mean, the guy's even denying him places he paid for.
Okay, you guys want to know what happened when I went to the red light district? I'll tell y'all the story. The other day we went to the red light district, and the reason I didn't see it is because every single went to the red light district was like, no black, no black, no black.
So, there's more empty words from this guy, but the judge and prosecution doesn't know that, especially after he doubled down.
When I go to Japan in 2029, I'm gonna pull a Harrison. I kind of like what Harrison is doing. I like how Harrison is doing the super spreader stuff.
These beasts must belong to me.
I'm gonna say it right here to the camera. I'm not scared.
Withdraw. Don't rush.
If I ever caught HIV,
a worthy foe.
I would become
the enemy
a super spreader.
Spotted an enemy.
I'll say it right now. I don't care.
I see
if I ever caught HIV, I would become a super spreader.
Dude's entire existence is just being a net loss to society. It's safe to say he's going to be the most massive test. His salary is entire strategy here is to disrespect South Korea as much as possible for some kind of restraint. Dude is essentially creating this to be this old school
maximum pulse.
Just like all the other videos covering everything to make it work for himself, as he decided to
This is real firepower!
Much better. By the eye of
That's a very specific threat against a very specific person. That's actually a good thing. So that is
I'm opening a portal.
I shall not be removed so and that's what we call a pinprick attack, which is, you can Google it, there's actually Wikipedia page about it and stuff like that.
Shall not be harmed.
That is very much criminal.
I mean, the fact that he goes out and says that shows how much of a low life this guy is. But on top of that, Legal Mindset goes into detail on what these threats to the Korean public could mean for Johnny.
But in Korea, if you actually went over and threatened people with HIV, you could be guilty of any of these things: injury, attempted injury, serious injury, special threat, attempted crime, murder. Also, Korea has a special statute, a special law called the Acquired Immunodeficiency Syndrome. That's AIDS prevention. Article 19, Prohibition on conduct through vaccine transmission. What does that mean? Under that statute, that will involve that.
Against the world! Final 10 seconds! Anyone willing to help?
Maximum force!
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
That's not going to be you. You realize how bad things are for him, hence why his new plan is to eventually flee South Korea.
Going to Incheon, I'm renting a boat for a inflatable raft.
The current score is 0-0.
As soon
Time
as I
to
hit
switch things
international
up,
water,
including which side you're
can't
on.
touch me.
That sounds like a great way to drown.
You good? Worry.
So
No
what's the
timeline
plan
exists
here?
where
Is he just
Magneto
trying to sail to Japan?
You'll
where
need a
he's
top-notch
also
team
banned?
to win
because
this one.
if he was going from Busan, his options are Japan or I guess North Korea if he goes all the way up the coastline. But there's a whole bunch of Korean islands on the way to Japan. So there's no way he's gonna make it to international waters. He'll just get arrested again. Yeah, and that would be cool.
Yeah, yeah, so good.
He didn't say Busan, he said Icheon, which is even worse for him because then he only has North Korea and China and a whole bunch of Korean islands outside.
I have found a greater cause.
Great. Let's continue the video. But a lot of people have also been asking how his family are reacting to his antics. And he's actually addressed this before he was detained in Korea.
30
so I can
seconds
only
before you
imagine
attack.
how they feel
Get
after all
ready.
of this now.
You guys are my family. I'm not gonna lie. Like I told you, like my family disowned me.
Here we are.
My dad the other day, I
Side
was
by
like,
side,
do I really
once
cause you that
more.
much stress? And my
Just
dad told
like
me,
the old
you caused the
days.
whole world stress.
You mean back when you used
I'm ashamed
children
to be
as
your father.
weapons in your crusade
I was like,
against
what, Dad,
mankind?
really?
You make me sound like a terrible father when you put it like that.
If I
Then
was
at
my,
least we
if
can
I had a son
The battle
and
starts
he
in
turned out
5,
like Ramsey, like
4,
John, I would be proud.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, TP.
All you need to do is
The only
capture
thing
the
that's
mission
Johnny
area.
Enigma
Got
is
it?
how stupid he acts. It's actually baffling. I've never seen a human being slowly self-sabotage
Oh.
and destroy his own life over the span of a few years for a handful of live stream views. At least not to this degree. This is just breaking records for being an absolute lowlife.
I feel like myself again.
So many spiders. Never mind.
You are under my protection.
He literally said, you got it. I'm like, y'all can do like a dad now. Y'all make a new family. You can't choose your family, guys, but you can make a new one.
This guy picked a parasocial relationship with some viewers who hate him and want to see him either arrested or worse over his own family. And the judgment on this one is phenomenal.
I see.
But when people focus about this, it feels like
I can feel it.
Yes, he said that. But for you to take that and make that a joke is not a game. Stop. It's like, yes, my father said he did not have kids. He did say that. I'm gonna be honest. He did say that.
Get ready. Pick up the backup.
yeah, that reaction to love it, but will we take this as a wake-up call? Absolutely not. As he was just detained in Korea multiple times in his
Now
life.
my child. The troubled days are over.
What's your name?
Perhaps something
You're in public. What? Back up. In the park. Here it comes. It's crazy, you guys see? Police state. This is a police state. Don't listen
My
to these
power
police.
cannot be quelled.
Don't speak. Oh, shit. Shut up.
These dudes are for some reason still acting like they're in America. Meanwhile, Hank was deported from the U.S. He can't even be protests in South Korea, and that's exactly what he's doing here with his buddy Hank, waving around. Down in a 9-hour-long live stream, but throughout the stream, it becomes more and more noticeable that Hank is upset with his fine. And this is the first time I've received his repercussions for hanging out with Johnny. The only reason they're out doing this is to entertain Johnny. With Johnny, he was going to make it up to him with a couple of songs, but not before they do the desktop stream first. And here, he announces when he's finished with the Johnny Smile shit, he'll be a doctor.
Only 60 seconds left.
I'm gonna go to medical school after this guy.
Never bring your guns to a space gun.
On the bright side, at least you would be doing something positive for society.
Final score.
But good luck to
1,
anyone
2,
that has to be
0.
this guy's patient. To be honest, though, I don't think he's being serious at all because he immediately starts talking about the future of his live streaming career. He also apparently viewed this stream as celebrating having 3,000 live current viewers. But the only issue with that is his VOD only has 15,000 views days after the stream. If those 8,000 viewers were actually real, you would have like anywhere from like 150,000 to maybe 500,000 views on that VOD. So there's basically a 0% chance that these views were legit. But he also announced his plans for his next trial.
I went to a tailor in Korea, and we got my customized outfit, and it's gonna be ready by Monday. Let's just say I told the tailor make it extra pointy. Extra pointy. we got some shit ready for the court. They got mad at me for wearing an oversized suit. Let's see how mad they get this time what I wear. Let's see. That's all I wanna say. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna leave nothing. I went to the tailor and I got that shit extra ready. I got it just like
Which hero do you think you want to be today?
All black. Just like Kanye. Just like Kanye.
Open your eyes.
Is
Reality is
but
but an
freedom to
illusion.
entertain the handful of viewers who watch his streams. He's just the prime example of influencer Darwin. My guess here is he's just realized he's destroyed his life and wants to make it as entertaining as possible for himself until he inevitably gets thrown into Korean prison. I also forgot to mention that apparently they're not happy with the local news coverage of them, so they wanted to show up to their offices.
BC. The JBC News building is not even open. Who's the news that was talking shit about it?
JTBC.
So you wanna go? You down to go to the headquarters?
Yes, and like demand an interview.
That's good content, man.
Actually demand an interview.
Me and Hank go to the Korean news channel that has been talking the most shit about us, and we show up to their headquarters live, and on YouTube, live on this channel and Hank's channel, and we tell these we want to interview now, and we're not leaving till you call the police. Now!
So in case you were wondering why they were mad, they covered how he's ran out of money and that Hank is now asking for donations to continue to cover and pay for John. So after the desktop stream, they decided to finally go to that couples massage, but before they got there, Hank had to defend Johnny.
Somebody else! Hi! Shingle! What? What the fuck? Yo! Wait! Why you wanna fight Chingu? Chingu!
After Hank defended Johnny, Johnny canceled the couples massage as he would rather just go and stream. So they parted ways.
Problem.
Johnny leaves and goes back to the house because, as he states, he can't be outside alone because, you know, the Golden Goblin game is still going on over there.
Guys, I can't be out here solo. Unless Blue Gunther is gonna put Blue.
And he's also openly admitted to being scared of walking around by himself out there due to being targeted.
Please don't say OD guy. I have a PTSD with say OD guy. Please, I don't want to hear that word. That's OD guy is like hearing the N-word to me, bro.
That word is what the dude who knocked him out said just before knocking him out, which translates to where you go. But continuing the live stream, Johnny makes a mistake.
Enemy in front of us.
So he buys the bottle of wine, goes back upstairs, and I guess puts something more drunk, and that makes him brave enough to go back outside, all by himself.
Oh, it's the police. I'm gone. It's the police. I'm running from the police. It's the police.
I'm good to go.
See? I'm fucking helpful.
That's much better.
I have unfinished business here. I'm opening a portal.
Better stop that vehicle.
A shortcut.
He should have been wandering outside. He should have just stayed at home. So he got away from the police. I'm sure if that could count as fleeing from the police, considering they actually had their lights on. But then for some reason, he decided to go back downstairs. Because remember, he lets his live stream chat make his life decisions for him. His same people would want to either arrest you or worse.
I am ready to put on a show.
I have unfinished business here.
You can tell the police are just so fed up with him at this point because they clearly have to deal with him on the regular. So they just end up telling him to go back home.
We made it halfway. Stop them.
Did you better go? Okay, bye-bye. Yeah, I'm scamming.
Better stop that vehicle. There's no chance to stop them.
Leave me, darkness.
I'll patch you up.
Finally, they let him go back to the police. The Hank called the cops on Johnny when he left the apartment again, calling the cops that, hey, my friend is drunk and needs to go back home again or something. Which honestly isn't unlikely at this point. And we also have a recent clip that came out of Hank promising that he's going to sort out a place for Johnny to live, assuming either his money or his family's money. Because that apartment that both of them are living in is tiny. Johnny's been there for months. I can only imagine how irritating it is to live with Johnny there. And then on top of that,
by the eye of
while you're in the apartment with him,
I am ready to put on a show.
So who knows? Will he stream before his next court date, or will he just show up to that court date in his pointy black gown as he was promising in his chat? But I guess we'll continue to cover this as this train wreck happens. But I also have like 7 other train wrecks to cover this week, so stay tuned for the next video. And also, hey,
Supernova!
So stay tuned there as well. If you want to check out more collections, you can go to Mad.City. Link will be down in the description down below. But other than that, I'll see you guys in the next
The
video.
current score is 0 to 0. Time to switch things up, including which side you're on.
Open your eyes.
Also, free air conditioners for all the apartments
You'll
in
need
the
a
city. You know what? This
top-notch
might
team to
sound
win
cool,
this
but
one.
everyone knows landlords, they're not just going to buy things for people out of the goodness of their hearts. Instead, they're going to get the tens of thousands of dollars needed to outfit every one of their apartments with ACs by jacking up their rents. Only this time, critics say the city will be forcing them to do it during the worst housing crisis we've had in the last 50 years.
You are unlawfully blocking the entrance to this building.
Tonight, some 2 million New Yorkers learned they will have to pay more for their stabilized apartments, and some of the tenants did not
Every year the rent goes up, they will take them to a shelter, to a family shelter, but I cannot go there with my mother.
Tenant organizations
Open
argue
your
that
eyes.
any
30
increase
seconds
will have
before you attack.
devastating
Get ready.
consequences for low-income families.
A new bill introduced Thursday will require all New York City landlords to provide air conditioning for tenants.
Owners cannot afford to do this in many buildings.
With the rent that I make from the building, I cannot even pay the utilities.
Landlords who testified argue they're operating at a loss
Open
and
your
need to be
eyes.
able to cover
All those
basic
crises I
operating
quietly
costs.
put out.
The battle starts in 5,
did not hold
4,
back their
3,
disappointment. Some
2,
even took their frustration to the streets.
Enemy ahead. Prepare to engage.
Rents in the city are now so high, many New Yorkers are effectively prisoners, stuck in apartments they can't move out of. But what nobody's talking about is that things are about to get even worse. Rentals and landlords are forced to buy all kinds of new stuff. The rent tomorrow is just going to go up, which is a massive problem considering rents themselves are already unacceptably high, with New York City having the lowest vacancy rate it's had in the last 50 years. This has created a situation where all the apartments available to be moved into are so expensive most people can't move enough, which is why many people now feel trapped financially and physically in small apartments they can't leave, which means growing families can't stretch their legs. People get married and move in together, and even professionals with $100,000 a year salaries can afford to live in
Maximum pulse!
This is real
massive raise in the long run. And that doesn't sound bad enough. Many landlords say that the rents they're getting aren't enough to pay their bills because the ridiculous fees, utility costs, and taxes the city requires them to pay are so high, they say the rent has to go even higher. And that brings us to the real reason why critics say we've got rents in the city no one can afford. It's because the government is taking too big a cut out of the housing market at a time when nobody can afford to pay what they're living in. They figured out how to do it while getting more into even now, some of our insist landlords should be spending even more money on their apartments. And although they say it's for health reasons and will save lives, critics say that the plan we've got on landlords is going to make more people homeless.
Judge, jury, execution! By the eye of Agamotto!
Final score 1-2-0. Another epic victory! Big win!
So this apartment, it comes with a couple of free air conditioners, and you'd think that that would be normal when you have apartments that cost $7,200 a month. But believe it or not, there are apartments that cost even more than this and don't come with